Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru.
You touched upon this earlier a little bit. So marriage, is it more of a cultural thing, or is it actually something in Sikhi that says we have to only marry Sikhs? And then is the reason for that to say we want to bring our children up Sikh? Like, what's the idea behind it? But
Okay,
as you said as well, like if you believe it, another person, if they're on a good path as well, might be the same path as yourself.
Yeah.
But would that not be fine?
Okay, good question. Here's the kind of there's two parts to this question. Yeah, one is on a personal level. On a personal level, Sikhi says you can only procreate or whatever, have sexual relations with anybody who's your wife, and you can marry anybody really. Yeah? But there is also the kind of practicality side of it. So firstly, you can't just marry anybody in a Gurdwara. The Gurdwara, the Anand Kaaraj ceremony of going around Guru Granth Sahib Ji to get married, that is only for Sikhs. The reason being is because you're accepting the path of the Guru. There's 4 things being read out to you that are your vows. You will walk upon the spiritual path. And they involve following Guru. That's why you go around Guru. You make Guru the focus of your life. So you can't just get someone who's not a Sikh to bow down to Guru Granth Sahib Ji and take that oath around Guru Granth Sahib Ji who doesn't believe in Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Do you get what I'm saying? Because you can't just bring Pakhand into the Gurdwara just because you fancy a Sikh wedding. You can't just force someone who's not a Sikh to just take part in a ceremony. They have to be a Sikh. Otherwise it's not being true. It's not real. Yeah? So that's the first part is you can't marry anybody who's not a Sikh in an Anand Kaaraj ceremony. Okay? They have to follow Guru Granth Sahib Ji to do that ceremony. Therefore, if they follow Guru Granth Sahib Ji, they're a Sikh. Yeah? Now, practicality wise, Guru Sahib said this: a Sikh man should marry his daughter off to a Sikh. Why do they say only the man? But only the woman, not the man, you might say. Is it inequality? No. Guru Sahib is giving equality to men. He's giving training that you should be not be looking at women. You should be treating her nicely. You should be regarding her as the door to salvation. Now if Guru Sahib is giving that teaching to men, he definitely wants his daughters to marry into Sikh families. So they get treated the way that he wanted them to be treated. And not by somebody who doesn't follow that way of equality. And then he wants that woman who's brought up by Sikhi to then bring up her kids and teach them that Sikhi. Yeah? The man might marry somebody else outside, but reality-wise, if he's a good man, he's going to treat her nicely as well. Alright? So that's one thing. Also, yeah, so that's the hukum. So a Sikh father should make sure that his daughter is married to a good, and not just any Sikh family, a good Sikh family who follow Sikhi and who believe in the faith of it. So obviously, if we believe in Sikhi, we want to get our daughters married to families that follow Sikhi that will treat them properly. Yeah, that's the rule.
Okay, so the thing is, the daughter can only marry a Sikh man, right?
It says to the Sikh father, you should get your daughter married off to somebody who's Sikh. Now, a father may say, okay, Maharaj, in this case I failed because I can't do it, and she accepts that. We all make mistakes, yeah. Like somebody who's like, you're not saying your relationship is a mistake, but everybody fails in certain ways. And he might say, I decided not to fight my daughter's desire to marry this person. But the advice has come from the Guru is this way. The advice has come that way.
Well, the thing is, you accept that there are good people in other religions.
Of course,
for example.
of course.
Yeah.
I just said that.
This is kind of strange for me
it's
that
not.
You cannot accept, for example, that a Sikh woman can be married to a good non-Sikh man.
Okay, first things first. Where somebody who follows God, they're a good person, yeah. And they follow God, by the way. Then and they follow it in the way that we mean, like equality. Then they're a good person. And if a father says, well, look, I don't know all that I could, but she still found this guy, he's a nice guy, and I decided, it's okay. Then that's up to the father. See what I mean? To give the blessings, yeah. Or he could say, I don't want to give any blessings. But the point is, in this world we live in equality anyway, so you could do it anyway. The point though is that Sikhi would not accept anybody who is an atheist as doing the right thing. They might be a great person, but it's like that tripod with 2 legs. Useless. Sorry to say, but useless. Try probably 2 legs, won't work. I'm trying to say,
Oh, no.
because
So you only believe that good people are inside a religion, or
anybody who follows the one and calls upon the one, I believe that because, and it may be controversial, I believe that when you follow the one and you worship the one, not just saying you belong, like somebody could say, well, I'm a Christian, but they do jack all about it. Somebody who truly follows the one, that person is sowing seeds for the next life. They're making this life worthwhile. Otherwise, it's like this. You've got iPhones. You've all seen iPhones, yeah? I've got a phone. It's not an iPhone, but it's a smartphone. Now you can turn them on airplane mode, can't you? Yeah? And then there's phones that can connect. You turn the airplane mode off. So somebody who's not trying to connect to the one, doesn't believe in the one, is fundamentally denying who they are. Who they are is a life of God. They're fundamentally denying their own truth of why they came here. And they're operating on an airplane mode. Yeah? And because they're not connecting to the one, they're on an airplane
because
mode.
I'm disconnected, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, there's no reception going on.
Yeah, no,
They're not connecting. Yeah? Now, when they're doing that and they're not taking steps, because it's like this, like I said to you, how would you work a phone? You'd ask the instructions, innit? Or you know people how to use a phone, so you figure out how to use a phone. Now, Bala is saying we've got this on top of our head. It's like a hidden aerial. Bala says everybody's got it, and you can connect. And somebody says, I don't believe it's there, because I've never seen it. That's what an atheist is doing, in my view. After you've heard this, like for you, you've heard this talk, we believe you can meditate, connect, you can feel the one. I didn't say believe in it, I said experience God. If you decide to say, I don't ever want to experience God, I'm not interested, you're fundamentally denying that there is some door of perception that is open to you that other people have travelled through and come back and told you. If it was a blind world, and one person opened his eyes and said to everybody, hey guys, there's colour out there, and everybody says, not true. He said, you know, you can open your eyes as well. And they say, I'm not going to, I can't be bothered. What would you say to that person? If you were the one who could see, and people refused to listen to you?
Of course you wouldn't believe it. That doesn't mean your argument true.
No, but
I
you can see.
Hmm?
You can see that other people refuse to see. What would you say? You would say
Of course,
this.
if
You would say
you
this.
don't see
You would
it-
say, I'm not marrying my daughter off to this guy that can't even listen to the simple truth about life. I would. I would not. If I lived in a world that was full of blind people and I could see, I would not accept somebody into my family who was blind, who was refusing to accept that there was this possibility of spiritual awakening. At least the person I would say would do is meditate and try it. See whether it could work. Because no one's forcing anything upon you.
Why would you believe that
But-
person?
Huh?
Why would you believe that person out of spite? Why don't you believe a madman that's locked up in some place? Why don't you believe
What do you
people?
mean? What do you mean? Believe.
Maybe I don't know what. Yeah, you say, okay, so you don't believe a guy. Let's imagine we're all blind and someone sees colors and he says he sees colors. You'd say he's mad.
Or you could say he's mad, yeah, fair enough. But the thing is, that's a good question. So he said, why believe Guru? Why is he not just mad? And everybody else is right. Good
No,
point.
I really believe that Guru did good actions.
Yeah, no, that's my point. My point is you judge a tree by its fruit. And my view is that the Gurus, what they did was unprecedented. It's unparalleled. Just look at the 10 Gurus. Within 200 years, look at what happened to India. In Punjab, in that area, within 200 years, they changed the destiny of the world from just those 200 years. And 10 people following each other exactly in line, without any contradiction between any of them. With the 10th Guru putting the 9 Gurus' writings into a text and saying, this is the truth. That's, for me, they're just amazing. And and the thing is, when I see they're so amazing, I think, let me see what they said. And then I listen, I was like, well, that's amazing. Let me follow it, see if it works. And it works. It does work. I can experience the one. That's what changed my life. So how can I now say to somebody, it's alright if you don't meditate? I can't, because I know that I am that soul. And how can I accept somebody who doesn't? Now, so for me, I would say that I would prefer somebody who was a good person and meditated to somebody who was a good person and didn't meditate. Now, if you're saying, would I prefer a good person over a person of another religion who was a bad person, then of course I would. So it's a line, isn't it? Nothing straightforward, it's a line. But the first step is being good, next step is meditation.